Margaret Bridge is a three-way bridge in Budapest, Hungary, connecting Buda and Pest across the Danube. It is the second northernmost and second oldest public bridge in Budapest. It was designed by French engineer Ernest Goa Aquarderin and built by the construction company Maison Ernest Goa Aquarderin at Sea. Between 1872 to 1876, the engineer in charge being Attila Maguire. Margaret Bridge is the second permanent bridge in Budapest, after Chain Bridge. This bridge leads up to Margaret Island, its two parts, enclosing 165 degrees with each other at the embranchment, towards the island. The reason for this unusual geometry is the fact the small extension to connect to Margaret Island was hastily inserted into the original design but not built until 2 decades later due to lack of funds.
If we followed this road, we could reach Octagon, and after turning left, we would soon find ourselves at the Heroes Square. It's only 10 minutes by car.
The Danube is a river in Central and Eastern Europe, the European Union's longest and the continent's second longest, after the Volga. Classified as an international waterway, it originates in the town of Donaueschingen, which is in the Black Forest of Germany at the confluence of the rivers Birgit and Breg. The Danube then flows southeast for 2,872 kilometers, passing through 4 capital cities, before emptying into the Black Sea via the Danube Delta in Romania and Ukraine.
The Hungarian Parliament building is the seat of the National Assembly of Hungary, one of Europe's oldest legislative buildings, a notable landmark of Hungary and the popular tourist destination of Budapest. It lies in Lehos Kossuth Square, on the bank of the Danube. It is currently the largest building in Hungary, and still the tallest building in Budapest.
Buda Castle is the historical castle and palace complex of the Hungarian kings in Budapest, and was first completed in 1265. In the past, it has been called Royal Palace. Buda Castle was built on the southern tip of Castle Hill, bounded on the north by what is known as the Castle District, which is famous for its medieval, Baroque, and 19th century houses, churches, and public buildings. The castle is a part of the Budapest World Heritage Site, which was declared a heritage site in 1987.
The chain bridge is a suspension bridge that spans the river Danube between Buda and Pest, the western and eastern sides of Budapest, the capital of Hungary. Designed by the English engineer William Tierney Clark, it was the first permanent bridge across the Danube in Hungary and was opened in 1849. It is anchored on the Pest side of the river, adjacent to the Gresham Palace and the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, and on the Buda side, near the 0-kilometer stone and the lower end of the Castle Hill funicular leading to Buda Castle. At the time of its construction, it was regarded as one of the modern world's engineering wonders. It has asserted an enormous significance in the country's economic, social and cultural life, much as the Brooklyn Bridge has in New York and United States of America. Its decorations made of cast iron and its construction, radiating calm dignity and balance, have elevated the chain bridge to a high stature in Europe. It became a symbol of advancement, national awakening, and the linkage between East and West.
When it comes to crossing the mountain of Buda, we have two choices. We can either cross under, using the tunnel, or go uphill, using a machine called the Shiklo, which can be translated using the very interesting English noun slider or something.
The Budapest Castle Hill funicular is a funicular railway in the city of Budapest in Hungary. It links the Adam Clark Square and the chain bridge at river level to Buda Castle above. The line was opened on March 2, 1870, and has been in municipal ownership since 1920. It was destroyed in the Second World War and reopened on June 4, 1986. A feature of the line are the two pedestrian footbridges which cross above it. These were present when the line opened, were removed in 1900 when the castle's garden was extended and rebuilt to the original design in 1983.
Right at the entrance to the tunnel, we find a roundabout, a very special one. This roundabout marks the 0 point of the Hungarian road system. When you drive around the country, you encounter road signs that only have a number on them. That number is the distance from the big 0. Every Hungarian knows that Budapest used to be 3 towns: Pest, Buda and Óbuda. As we are walking among the old buildings of Buda, one can really appreciate tradition. Now called Szél-Kálmán tér for some reason, at the time I took these pictures, this big square was called Moszkva tér, featuring the name Moscow in it.
Szél-Kálmán tér is a square in Budapest. It is one of the city's busiest transport interchanges, which is served by a station on Metro Line 2, tram lines 4, 6, 18, 59, 59, 61 and bus lines 5, 16, 16.
Yeah man, we got it.
Several buses head for the popular tourist destinations of the Buda Hills, so this square is a common meeting place for those going on excursions. It can be considered the center of Buda because of its traffic and the several stores around it, including Mammoth, a huge shopping center. Buda Castle is easily accessible from here, either on foot or by bus lines 16, 16 or 116. The originally anonymous area became Szél-Kálmán tér in 1929, named after the Hungarian Prime Minister Szél-Kálmán. Following the Soviet occupation and the communist takeover in the country, the square was renamed to Moszkva tér in 1951, under the Rákosi regime. Following the fall of communist regimes in Eastern Europe, it was debated whether it should be renamed again to the original Szél-Kálmán, but initially the name remained.
If we continue our walk on this road, it will lead us to the market bridge. But since I parked near here, I do not wish to complete the circle around the center of Budapest.